What's happening, everybody? Welcome back here to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. My name is Hunter, and we have a lot to talk about in this forecast, including a major cold snap as we go into next week, which will include the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday and beyond. And we could be even looking at a major winter storm near the Gulf Coast, moving across the southeast and up into the mid-Atlantic that could bring significant snow and ice concerns as we finish the month of January. So if you want to follow along with all my daily updates on this channel, make sure to subscribe down below. Turn on post notifications so you are notified when I do post my videos and also live streams as well. Like the video by giving it a thumbs up and share this video on social media. I definitely appreciate it. Let's go out here to California and briefly update you on the wildfire situation. Relative humidity over the next 24 hours or so going to be very low here, especially down toward Los Angeles into the teens and 20s in percentages. So that is very low, very dry air in the low levels, and combined with some gusty winds. Wind gusts literally could be over 60, 65 miles per hour here, and especially the higher mountainous terrain out here into portions of Los Angeles and just outside Los Angeles. So looking at the fire weather outlook for today, which is day one, we have extremely critical fire weather concerns from Oxnard over here into Santa Clarita and even just north of Burbank, and that extends up toward Palmdale. So if you're in any of these areas, make sure to take care of your situation as best as possible. And then you have a critical fire weather concern that sends all the way up here into Santa Barbara, into places like Newport Beach, San Bernardino, and Victorville as well. And then as we go into Wednesday, notice how it gets a little bit less, but we still have the elevated and critical fire weather concerns on Wednesday for day 2, and then on Thursday, January 16th for day 3, still not looking at critical fire weather, but elevated concerns here from Santa Barbara, Oxnard, eastward towards Santa Clarita, Frazier Park, Palmdale, Burbank, Los Angeles, and even over here towards San Bernardino. So definitely keep an eye on that. Let's look at the eastern U.S. now, because we had a clipper system and some lake effect snow that did drop some decent snows here over the past 24 hours from central Iowa to northern Illinois, seeing widespread reports there of around 1 to 2 inches worth of snow. Great Lakes up here toward Lake Superior into the upper peninsula of Michigan, seeing around 8 to 12 inch reports there. Same thing down toward Grand Rapids, just to the south of there, seeing 8 to 12 inch reports. Buffalo and Orchard Park, New York, up there toward Watertown, seeing even 2 feet of snow being reported there over the past 24 hours with the formidable lake effect snow bands. So this afternoon, we're going to see that clipper system continue to bring some lighter snow to eastern Ohio, parts of West Virginia there in the higher elevations, and then into western Pennsylvania. Otherwise, lake effect snow will rule the roost as we go through the afternoon and into tonight, and even going into Wednesday. We got another clipper system diving down from Canada here, from Manitoba and Ontario into the Arrowhead of Minnesota, into northern Wisconsin there on Wednesday. That could re-aggravate the lakes and again produce that lake effect snow for Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Huron, and also Erie as we go in towards Wednesday night, and could also spread some snow around Michigan and Wisconsin as well. So looking at the Great Lakes as a whole through Thursday, January 16th, seeing some decent snows, mainly lake effect induced, but we definitely could see that clipper system drop a good 1 to 3 inches of snow, even up into areas of our friends into Ontario as well. Could be seeing that more into western and southwest Ontario, and then into the Arrowhead of Minnesota, northern Wisconsin. Otherwise, parts of the Ohio Valley could see some snow as well, and then mainly on the downwind side of Lake Michigan here and also Lake Superior, we could be seeing some heavier snowfall there, and then areas just east of Toronto, we could see some pretty heavy snowfall there as well. So travel will be impacted, at least minor travel inconveniences across the Great Lakes, unless you're in those heavier snow bands, Buffalo, Orchard Park, New York, Watertown, New York, or the downwind side of Lake Michigan here, Grand Rapids, all the way up there into the northern lower peninsula of Michigan, the upper peninsula of Michigan. May have some more significant problems with the travel as we go through late this week. Temperatures, as far as they're concerned, we got cold air out there now. The coldest of the air will be as we go into tomorrow on Wednesday, January 15th. And looking at this afternoon's highs, again, we're in the single digits to teens across a large chunk of the Midwest, the upper Midwest, Great Lakes and Ohio Valley, and up here into the Northeast, warmer down to the south. Wednesday morning could be the coldest morning so far this week, and we could be seeing temperatures widespread single digits below zero here in a large chunk of the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and the Great Lakes. And these, by the way, are just air temperatures. What the real feel, the wind chill, will be well below zero. So if you're heading out to school, heading to work, make sure to start the car early, get it warmed up, and definitely bundle up as you head out the door Wednesday morning. Then as we go into the afternoon, we'll moderate our temperatures into the teens and 20s, but it's still going to be chilly over here in the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, and the Northeast. Milder temperatures as we have some return flow in the 30s and 40s across the plains Wednesday afternoon. And here's that return flow. As we go into Thursday, we establish more of a westerly Pacific mild airflow here across the country Thursday and Friday. This would be the days, these would be the days to wash the car off with the, all that salt out there. I know I live in Northern Illinois. We have a lot of salt on my car as well, and we definitely need to, get all that salt off there. So this would be a perfect opportunity to do so. Temperatures approaching or even exceeding the freezing point all the way up here into the Twin Cities at 35 on Thursday, 38 in Des Moines, 35 in Chicago, and 40 degrees respectively in St. Louis Thursday afternoon. A warmer start to Friday, which means we're going to see temperatures even warmer. Look at that, 45 in summer-like degrees in Des Moines as we go into Friday afternoon. 40 degrees there in Chicago, and 40 all the way up to Green Bay, and approaching 40 at 38 in the Twin Cities. So if you, again, these are the 2 days, Thursday, Friday, to wash your car off with salt. Otherwise, not with salt, but wash your car off from the salt here. And those will be the 2 days, because we're seeing dry weather Thursday into Friday, but then after that the bottom drops out, and we'll show you that in a moment. But look at the snowfall further to the north. In the Canadian provinces up here, we could see a decent snow, 6 to 10 inches here across northern British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and then lessening 2 to 4 inch totals over here into Manitoba and central Ontario as we go into that Thursday, Friday time frame. Speaking of the bottom dropping out here, the North Pole is going to take a visit in the United States and southern Canada. Here's Saturday. Northwest flow beginning to become established, especially up here in the plains. And then as we go into Monday, MLK Day on the 20th, we're going to see all that northwest flow extending all the way down to the Gulf Coast and even southern Texas, northern Mexico, and even North Florida as well. You're not escaping this cold air. But looking here at Saturday, here we go. We're oozing a lot of that colder air down to the south. It's even more intense on Sunday. A lot of these purples showing up 40 degrees below normal, and then the bottom just drops out. And the North Pole literally takes a visit here into the United States on Martin Luther King Day. These temperatures could be easily 45, 50 degrees below normal. And just to put this in perspective, this is one of the coldest times of the year. Middle of January, it doesn't get much colder. And when you're seeing temperatures minus 50 degrees below normal, you know this is some serious cold air. So Saturday afternoon, here are your highs. There's the freezing line from Detroit roughly down towards St. Louis there and in towards the Oklahoma City, Tulsa area. Behind that, here comes the Arctic air. And you can see Sunday afternoon's highs, we're only going to be below zero. That's it across Montana, parts of Wyoming, the Dakotas, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. Wind chills factored in Sunday afternoon. Yes, peak heating of the day, and we're still minus 20, minus 30, minus 35 in some areas. Probably looking at wind chill advisories, wind chill warnings up to the north here. And then Monday morning, the bottom drops out. MLK Day on the 20th. This is the morning, minus 3 in Chicago, minus 13 there in the Twin Cities, minus 25 here in North Dakota. Even seeing 27 below over there into eastern Wyoming. And then you factor in the winds, the wind chill. We see wind chills approaching 40, 50 below zero up here into parts of Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, and even North Dakota, northern Minnesota, and respectable 15 to 25 degrees below zero. Wind chills getting all the way down to the central plains, the lower Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and the Northeast. And look at that, all the way down to North Florida, folks. We are seeing wind chills in the mid-20s, and not much better Monday afternoon. We're still seeing highs well below zero, teens below zero for highs to the north there, freezing line all the way south, and wind chills still hanging on 20, 30 below, 40 below zero on Monday afternoon to the north. So long story short, we need to bundle up. Make sure to find that winter coat out there. You're going to need it. Let's look at the precipitation as we go into this transition. So Saturday might have a little bit of a rain snow mix across the Ohio Valley. This is not what we're looking for a huge snowstorm here. As this cold air rushes in, it's going to kind of shred apart this system a little bit because the cold air is dry air, especially when it's Arctic air. And you can see on Sunday we have a little bit of a snow shield there from Kentucky up into West Virginia and into the Poconos of Pennsylvania, but that zips across. Maybe a little bit of light fluffy snow across the Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma Panhandle, and western Kansas there on MLK Day, but that will probably be a little bit low confidence because the dry air could shred this apart very easily. But the European model and the GFS model are both in agreement now. Just a couple of inches of snow for parts of the Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic up in the Northeast. Not a big snowstorm by any means, maybe just enough to shovel. And then as we go into next week, Tuesday the 21st through Sunday the 26th, look at from Texas all the way through the Southeast, Mid-Atlantic and up toward the I-95 corridor, temperatures easily 20 to 30 degrees below normal. And we have an active jet stream. Here's our low pressure system, positively tilted trough. We're going to watch that system right up their highway here. The highway is the jet stream. And look at this, the European model painting next Tuesday. It's not like it's far-fetched. It's a week out, 7 days, the 21st. Snow there in DFW all the way over to Shreveport. And look at the snow line. Lake Charles could even get snow down there in Louisiana on this model. Nashville to Knoxville all the way down to Jackson, Mississippi, Huntsville, and Florence again. Nasty ice storm being painted on here from Georgia here, the Peach State, all the way up through the Carolinas. This would be bad ice storm for the low country of South Carolina Wednesday, and then that zips off the East Coast, maybe bringing some snow to the I-95 corridor or coastal New England there on Thursday. This is on the European model. So here's the European model snowfall. Don't pay attention to the totals just yet, but also look at mainly the path here. And you can see East Texas through the deep south, into the Tennessee Valley, the Carolinas, and up into the Mid-Atlantic, and maybe the I-95 corridor closer to the coast, and a nasty, crippling ice storm from Georgia all the way up into the Carolinas and the outer banks of the Mid-Atlantic, Tuesday through Thursday. The GFS model, not really that far off either. Looking here at the snow line, going all the way down into the southeast Texas here, into portions of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. Wednesday brings a formidable, notable ice storm across Georgia here into South Carolina, North Carolina. And that's what's worrisome, is that the GFS is actually comparing to the European and actually very consistent on this ice storm from Georgia into the Carolinas. So something we'll have to watch here. Still several days to change. But looking here at the GFS compared to the Euro on Thursday, it suppresses the precipitation further south because all the cold, dry air doesn't give much for the I-95 corridor, and the snowfall is a lot further south here and a little bit lighter actually on the GFS than the Euro. But the ice storm is formidable, and this actually could affect areas of North Florida. So even if you're in Jacksonville, Tallahassee, to Panama City, we need to watch this for wintry precipitation even in North Florida between Tuesday and Thursday next week. And that's something we'll continue to refine and give you updates on as we get closer. So make sure to subscribe to the channel. I know there's a lot to get to. Check back often for updates. Turn on the post notification bell for both videos and live streams for everything. We'll keep you covered here. Like the video by giving it a thumbs up. Share this video with friends, family, and on social media. And of course, leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. If you have any questions regarding any winter storm, any temperatures, anything like that, make sure to jot them down in the comment section and I'll answer as many as I can. Thank you all for watching, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their Tuesday out there.